Alright, so it's time for another new video from Steve's Model Railway Road Build. And welcome to any who are joining us tonight. I hope everybody's been well. And tonight, I'm going to review, in one of my earlier videos, I reviewed this kit. I unboxed it and reviewed it. I finally got around to it. It's the Faller Trackside Buildings kit. Equipment shed, and there's two others there. Not a big kit, but I felt it was a good one for me to get my feet wet again, building models after all these years. I had started on the lifelike models, the oil depot, and I got most of the way through it. I ran into a problem with the painting the tanks, but I'll get to that. In the meantime, I was all excited about this. So now I'm not starting right from the beginning here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I build a model kit. So we've got two kinds of instructions here. First of all comes the parts list. So the first thing I do is I take everything out of the box, make sure it's all there, make sure nothing's damaged or missing, and Faller's really good. If it is, then you just let them know and they'll make it right for you. But I've never had one that had a problem. The other thing too is that sometimes you'll find, and it actually says this in the finer print of the instructions, not all the pieces that they provide you with are necessary to build the kit. So I know I hate it when I get to the end of a project and I'm at the instructions and I've got pieces left over. Anybody who works on cars, yeah, you know that. Yeah, it's no good. Yeah, you think it's all back together, and then you got pieces left over. But sometimes they give you extra pieces, and sometimes there's pieces you're not going to want to use. So, anyways, so I started with the larger shed, and so what I do is I lay out all the parts, pretty much as they're shown, all right, because the instructions follow through on it all. Okay. So I lay that out, get it ready, get it in the order that it's going to be assembled. In bigger kits, you only want to take out the immediate pieces you're going to be working on. But in a little kit like this, I like to have it all out so I can see, everything. Okay, so I started with the larger building here, and I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, this is what it looks like after I weathered it. Okay, and got the blackening up there from the burning the coal. Got nice detail with the shutters, the windows. Nice doorway there. There's a doorway. Everything's weathered a little bit differently. So yeah, for my first effort coming back, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. So this particular piece comes with a little base, and it's got some fencing here that I could put on later on. Basically, it fits on here like so, and you can glue it down or just set it down, and you can weather it to blend in with your railroad, or you could just plunk it down there and then go around it and do your own thing. Okay, so that one's completed and weathered, and I've just completed this one. This is the second building. Okay, and So it's got a little mailbox, shutters. I haven't done any weathering on this yet, but you'll see the weathering's pretty good already. So I'm probably just going to do a little bit on that, and the roof still needs to go on. I'll do the weathering first, and just makes it a little easier. Okay, so that's another video though. Okay, so at this point what we're going to do is we're going to assemble the third and smallest building. And see what I did here, when you go through each step or when you finish the page, check it off. That way, you know, sometimes the instructions can be really long. Or something I got from DJ's Trains. You know, when you get down, you know, if there's a lot of verbal instructions or written down instructions, then use a highlighter or a pen to underline where you've stopped. And then you don't have to go back and read paragraph after paragraph and try and figure out where you were. So anyways, so that's where I'm at with this. And so I don't work very well upside down, so I'm going to turn it like this. I hope you don't mind. And I'll also show you, you know, some of the little techniques I use for modeling, very basic things. I did the video on sharps and knives, and so you'll get to see how I do it here. Okay, so right now we are at, where are we at? Okay. Okay. O and P we're going to skip right now. Okay. Assembling the little bench, blah blah. And O is completing the roof on this one. So we're going to skip O and P for now and go straight to Q. This one's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any windows, or acetate windows anyways. So first thing I do, and one important tip for you is, okay, don't go clipping everything off all at once, okay, and you end up with pieces everywhere, okay. Clip them off as you need to use them, okay. If you've got 3 or 4 pieces that are going to have to go together, then you can certainly clip those off together, but don't just go clipping everything off the sprue. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so the instructions say we've got 4-3 on the little thing here. There we go. We've got 4-3. Okay, so 4-3. You hold it the way that it shows in the guide. You snip it off like that, and then usually, not always, you can either sand this, or I usually just give it a little trim. You know, the roof's going to cover it, and we're probably going to weather it anyway, so but just take that little nib off. Okay. Okay, so we've got 4-3, and it looks like there's actually 2 4-3s. There are 2 4-3s. Okay, so we get the second 4-3. So when I snip with these, okay, you want the pointy side away from where you're snipping. So you want to have the flat side here against the piece. Okay, put this down. You know, I had a lot of fun with this, and you know, I can't wait to get into the sawmill, the end scale. Okay. Okay, so and the other thing too is, you might be able to see there's a little flashing there. Okay, it doesn't matter with this particular piece, but I always take it off. Okay, and so you want to feel around, you want to make sure all your edges are good. Okay, so, and then we've got 4-6, which is this one, with the little gate, door, very rough door, rude door. Okay, so, I don't know, can you see? Oh, let me get the tweezers. Can you see the weathering on that? Can you see the different shading? Just looks great. Okay, so we got that. Turn this up. There we go. So this won't take very long at all. Okay. Oops. Okay. I just realized I made a mistake, but that's okay. It's inside, so it's not going to make any difference. Okay, and so basically, so we've got the four sides of our little building. I think this is probably the outhouse, or kaibo, as we used to call it in Boy Scouts in Canada. There we go. Okay, so it's going to go together like this. So, talked about glue in the past a little bit. Here's the Tamiya. I also got, and it's great. It comes in both regular like this and thin, and it's great. I also ordered some Mr. Cement. Actually came, there was Tamiya and Mr. Cement. This is a little thinner, and I like it. I like the Tamiya too, so it just depends what you want. Okay, so here we're gonna dip the brush. You don't want too much glue, you don't want it all sloppy. And you see there's a rib there? You're going to go down the side of that rib, just like that. You want to get that beveled edge, but you don't want to put it on the outside, okay? And it's usually best to put glue on both pieces. Too much glue leaves marks on the outside, and you have to do a lot of extra work to get rid of them. Okay. So this stuff sets pretty quickly. You just have to hold it for a few moments, and then that can stand like that. Okay. And so next we just we do this one. So each side is beveled, and each side has that flange. So it's easy to fit them together properly. And of course, with it being a rectangular building like this, it'll square up in the end. I haven't graduated to time lapse yet, but this doesn't take very long. So I hope you're watching how I do this. Okay. Normally I'd use a cutting mat, but when I'm working with glue, I use this glass plate. Um, you know, if glue gets on it, it's easy just to wipe it off, get it off with some thinner or whatever. So, okay, so here we go. This is about as basic a structure as it gets. 4 walls. There you go. Alright. But all trimmed up. All ready to go. There's 2 more pieces. And this is something interesting about the faller in this kit anyways. Instead of having 2 pieces that you glue on each side and glue in the middle, there's a little crease down the middle here. Can you see that? Yeah. There's a little crease down the middle. And you actually bend this very gently to the correct angle. And then there's a piece that runs across the top to cover that. So, but yeah, that roof, I mean, you can see, you know, I mean, you can tell it's plastic, but it looks a lot better than just regular plain old plastic. So, okay, so there's that. Now, the mistake. Yeah, I missed a piece here. Okay, so there we go. So, and when you cut it, you kind of want to hold both things. Okay, that way some of the stuff doesn't go flying all over the place. Okay. There we go. Okay, so snip that off. And what I did wrong, or what I forgot to do, is, see on that side, there's a window frame. It's that window frame there. Can you see that? Yeah. I forgot to do that on this side. Okay, so it just looks like a piece of glass. Okay, but never fear. Okay, it's on the inside. It's no big deal. Okay. So here's what we do. Instead of insetting it, because I've covered it with the window already, okay, just gonna turn it the other way around so I get the flat side, okay, instead of the grooved side, get the flat side, okay, and because it's the clear acetate, I'm not going to put any glue on there. Just going to take it with my tweezers here. There we go. Work ambidextrously. That means you can work with either hand. Okay. Put that down. Okay. Now let me just kind of flip that in there. Get in there. And like with most things, you probably have to get in there with your fingers a bit. Just to line that up. And there you go. You'd have to look real close to realize I screwed up. Okay? So that's going to wait for some weathering on the outside tomorrow. And this one, yeah, I'm going to put the roof on now. I'm not going to weather this one's so small, and it's so nicely done anyways. So, okay, so again, flat side against the piece, snip, there we go. Now I know I said you never point the knife towards you. The knife's not pointing towards me. It's moving towards me. Very slowly, very gently, and very carefully. Okay? If you keep cutting yourself, put a band-aid on. Okay. So, like I said, yeah. So, now, very carefully. This is the only instruction that's not just visual. And in the four languages it says bend cautiously. Okay, so you want to be very careful. All right, and you probably want to overbend it because most things like to spring back. That looks about right. Okay, and again, there's flanges. Can you see the flanges? There's flanges there, so you can line it up. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Okay. All right. That looks like it's in the right place. So yeah, this one we're going to have to hold it down for a bit. Oh, while we're doing that, don't throw away this extra sprue, okay? There's nothing attached to it now, but you can make stuff with it, okay? Also good for stirring paint, as well as, you know, I mean, you could make that into something that looks like a pipe. You know, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. So get a little box and, you know, put all your extra sprue in there. There we go. You never know when you're going to need a piece of something. There we go. Okay, that's not. See, I told you it's going to spring up. Okay. I think what they want you to do is very carefully bend it until those pieces meet. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. Here we go again. Lots of glue. Looks like it's in there flush. You'll be able to feel when things are right, as well as looking at it. Okay, so just one more piece for this. A little part goes on top of the roof here, and so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll maybe make a second little video on how it's all finished up at the end. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something.